Okay, I thought I'd do a little video on stroke making. I thought we'd make a stroke, but I'll just show you some strokes that I've made previously, a few years ago now. I think this is one of the first ones I made. It's just with a dado rail, this is. You see it, so because it's hard to get something flat and I haven't really got any machinery, so I bought a flat dado rail, which you stick the leather on, and then the other piece of dado rail gets stuck on top there like that. I'll make a video, I'll get some more of this stuff, and maybe if you're interested. And you can see I've glued it together. It's actually, you can't really see it. I doubt if you even see it on the camera. Come on, focus there. You can just see the line where it's glued together. So that gives you a bit so that you can hold over the top. This is just something that clean it after we use it. It keeps it from getting contaminants on it. So I just put it in a little case that comes with a knife. But you can see, nice little stroke. Makes just cheap bit of wood, cheap bit of leather. So. And you don't have to be that accurate. You can have different shapes. Another one, that's because it was my fault. I took a bit, kept coming off, so I decided to make it a bit taper in, just covering up my mistakes really. Again, good stroke. Another stroke I thought I'd try was just one that had sort of curved round where I sort of sandpapered back. That was quite useful for certain knives, especially knives that are inswept or whatever. Just trying these things out. Then I thought this was testing knives. I thought I'd make these sort of knives with some nice little bits of wood. Obviously I get as flat as I can. They're never going to be perfectly flat because it's all done with a knife. Very useful, pretty little stroke. Perfect for a small knife. See, I've done a little bit that needs a bit of tongue oil on there. I've just been whittling away. This is really splitty wood. Stag's all shoot another, but this was done with full and even PC, so I'm quite impressed with. Really nice little stroke. Again, sort of, you put your thumb there. You sort of protect it with your nail, and it's just big enough for a small little 3-inch knife. Works a treat. This is cleaning paste. I've got peak cleaning paste. I'll do some videos on how that works. Anyway, so what I thought, zoom out a little bit. I keep getting off camera, don't I? Thought we would make one. Yeah, there you go. I have this bit of wood here. I'll show you how it's. Hopefully I remember how it's done. It was a few years ago since I made them. I haven't really done a lot of wood carving for a long time, but we shall give it a go. Just got a bit of old stirrup leather here. I've got loads of this stuff, and Mum's friend gave me some old stirrup leathers, so if I fail once I'll have another go. So I thought this is a nice little bit, this bit of wigelia here. It's a sort of pretty pink flowered shrub. Flowers, well, it's double bloomed in my garden this year. I don't know if it normally does that, but it's spalted, so it's got these pretty colours. Normally it's like, yeah, the spalting, normally this would be white here, and it's very distinct. I mean, it's pretty wood anyway, but this, with the spalting, the bacteria has sort of gone out into the white of the outer wood, sap wood if you like. So we'll give it a go. First of all, we're going to need to take this pith, because what's going to happen, because we always need something to hold on to, sort of like this. Where your thumb is, you need something that's higher than the stroke really, unless you're going to make something that's longer which you can hold over to. I prefer to do something like that, so I can just grab hold of it with my thumb, and really that's the sort of, if I did slip, it's very unlikely, I'm very careful when I stroke. I don't press hard, but this is obviously going to give us a bit of bigger room. So what I'll do is I'll cut down into the back of it, and then put the leather along there, and this will be the bit that's higher, the handle, if you like, from about there. It's got a knot in it, but I'm not fussed about that. It adds a bit of interest, shouldn't be too difficult. Anyway, so first of all, you're going to want to take this pith out. This is soft, see it? That's got to go. So we're just going to use our belt axe. If you've seen my other video, why I use the belt axe, you look at this. This is the carpenter axe. It's just bigger. It's a different angle. It's harder to get. It's doing an okay job. It's nice and sharp, but I just prefer, you know, the bite angles out there. You see, that's the sort of angle I'm working at. Just notice, see what I mean? Bloody handles getting in the way again. That's another thing. Long handles. I'm in a bit of a confined, but it's doing an okay job though. Can't argue with that. But this is my one I prefer. Very accurate, this belt axe. Carpenter's grind. Yeah, that's enough of the pith gone. There's still a little bit there, but this is going to be the bottom anyway. So what we need to do, the best way is just to make a cut with a knife, with a saw. So about there, gives us enough of a. Do that to start with, and we can always make some fine adjustments later. Got to be careful we don't go past and slice into this now. It'll be very accurate. Can you see me? See, I'll zoom in a bit more. See the interesting colours now, the spalting, can you? And I'll zoom out a bit more. This is the hard bit, getting this flat. Probably get it flat with a knife, but we'll do most of what we can with the axe. Actually, I think I've gone too far with it. Yeah, I did really. So you think I cut down too deep? There you go. Well, we'll just leave it there and just butt up to it. Doesn't matter. It's just gone down a little bit too far, but gonna make mistakes. Right, so let's have a look. So it doesn't have to be dead flat, it just needs to be roughly right. So let's get a knife. Here we go. This is the knife you won't see carved wood often. Let's see how this one does. Oh god, what's it called again? I've forgotten the name of this one. Jimbo's the folding one. Let's see if we can. So this is right hand grind again. I thought this would be a better carving knife than it actually is, but because it's actually a self-defense knife, it goes hollow ground here, but then it disappears into flat ground at the tip, which is not what I wanted, but let's see what we can do. Too bad. And we glue the bit of wood there. Where are we? So what does that look like? Yeah, it's rising up a little bit, so it just needs to come out. Probably do with the axe. That I might finally remember the name of this one, but we'll make this strop using these two knives. I know a lot of you will love that. I love Spyderco knives. They're just totally different, and they're so well made. And you can tell they're made by enthusiasts, aren't they? Right, we'll go to the knife now. So I've done a little bit, thought I was recording, I haven't, so I've got it smooth. Oh, let's go out. Right. Looks pretty good. Raised up in the middle a bit, isn't it? Yeah, just there. So you're never going to get it dead flat. Well, I won't anyway. You might be able to, but I not with a knife. But it doesn't have to be. At the end of the day, it just needs to be good enough to do the job. Sappy. Surprising. Well, this was actually laid flat on the ground, so this is probably why the other stuff was stood up and it dried out. I thought it would be, we had too much dry weather. I should have laid it on the ground, kept it, let it rot on one side a little bit more, because this is perfect. So just how you want spalted wood to be. It shouldn't be allowed to dry out. Right, let's have another go then. Bit there. Maybe still. Go too far. A little lump there, I think. Try again. One way round. Ah, that feels right. If anything, if you can't get it flat, what you want is you want it slightly dished like that. Or, do you know what I mean? So it sort of dips down in the middle, if anything. That I think is okay. Especially when I'm not taking this away. So let's take a little slither. It needs to be a little bit flat. Not quite right. Oh yeah, that's right. There we go. In fact, we'll get it over as far as we can that way because we've got a little cut mark there. See, we're gonna see the cut mark slightly in, but most of that will come out. There'll be a little mark there, but like I say, it's a handmade stroke. Wouldn't be too fussy. It was my fault cutting down too deep. Okay, oh, not gonna get me like last time. Oh, zoom out. I'll wear gloves this time. This stuff, I always get it everywhere. Use a screwdriver. Let it go nice and white. Right. This is quite rough and absorbent on the back. If it was smooth, if it was like that both sides, then I'd rough it up with a bit of sandpaper, but this is fine. That there. Put a bit of wood on top. It's just not quite squeezing down. That's better. One in the middle for luck. There you go. Right. See you in a bit. Okay, let's carry on from where we were yesterday. The glue set. The leather stirrup is stuck to the piece of wood. This isn't. I said, what did I say it was again? Weigela. It's smoke bush. So, if you're looking for an interesting word, smoke bush. Well, it's the one in our garden is about 30 years old, so it's more like a smoke tree. But anyway, so I thought I would do. So we're going to do Ronin 2. I couldn't remember the name. Of course, how could I forget that? So we're going to use our Ronin 2 and our Delica. Probably swap between them. Give a bit of review. Right, so. Smells nice. Yeah, it was great. It does it all right. For something that's actually a self-defense knife. At the end of the day, it's a piece of steel, especially that it is hollow ground. That's why I chose it. Fairly pointy. If you put the right edge on it, it's always going to be a wood carver. We have to go in past this curve here into the glue starts. We'll take it nice and steady. Yeah, I see. Design, I just think doesn't need to be that. Yeah, we'll see what I'm. So normally I might make it a bit smaller. See how it goes. So even this tip, you see the tip. I explained before, it gets hollow ground, but then it fades out to almost flat, so the hollow ground disappears. You can see that if it'll focus. Can you see the way it goes up? So it goes along a consistent bevel, and as it goes flat ground, for me to get the same angle at the edge, I've had to take more off up here and go back further higher up. I don't know if you can see that. I mean, yeah, it's quite prominent in it, as long as the camera focuses. And can you see on the small bevel side, it does it the same at the tip as well. Zoom in a little bit. Use our Delica now because we're a bit. This is a sharper knife. So we go in. Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely sharper. Not the edge shot, it's just the blade itself. It's so well. Such a thin profile piece of steel. But wreaks havoc with your thumb. It's thin on the back. I prefer something that's thick and rounded off, whereas you can see that that's just designed to dig into your thumb, isn't it? But can't argue with its sharpness. See, it isn't quite. It's just showing where it's not level, so I probably have to go in a bit more to get rid of that. Probably go to where the line is on the leather. Just be a nice guide. need to put my glasses on. I can see. Right, onto the other side. Ooh, nearly up to the line, over the line. Yeah, you can't argue with this knife. That is, you can always tell by if you can knife finish something, what sort of finish you can get on it. I want to zoom out a bit there, don't I? I think this will be easy to be able to knife finish, get a nice finish on this. Well, let's go back to this knife, do a bit of shaping here. Just take this, make this round. Just do another sharpen on this knife. I think it could go a little bit, one more sharpen would do this. It just needs to go a bit steeper. Notice drop off in sharpness compared to that, but then it is a different design. But I definitely think another sharpener would do this knife. It's not quite there. When I say sharpness, I'm talking about the profile. The edge is fine. So let's give it a stroke. Oh, back again, reached my recording limit. Better. It's better, but it's not. Still a sharp knife, don't get me wrong. But this is the way it should be. That's beautiful. That is really sharp. Anyway, you enjoyed that little stropping lesson. Quite hard, this wood, because it is seasoned, well, spalted, sort of semi-seasoned. Well, it is seasoned, but no, semi-seasoned, that's what you call it. It's still got some moisture in it, hasn't dried out yet, so it could split a little bit, but it doesn't tend to. Let's go to our Delica then. Let's round this off a bit, shall we? Oh yeah. Instantly I can feel how that's the edge is better and so's the profile. It's just, like I said, this knife could be improved if I get that edge deeper. I'm tempted to leave it though, because it just works fine. It's a pain in the ass to sharpen, so digging in there. Let's do this bit here. Yeah, that's where we were clumsy with my saw, a bit overzealous. But I'm not too fussy about things. Yeah, I don't think the ronin's going to get much of a look in here with this. This is just such a nice knife to use. I can tell that the finish I'll get on with this knife. Look at that. That's what I like about sharp carving with a really sharp knife. You see the sort of finish you get there. Hopefully you can. Well, that's just with a knife. You don't need sandpaper. I like the finish you get with sandpaper, but all the dust and I really do. I like things to be a little bit facety. Sort of got its own charm. It's nice if you're using something like a strop. It's obviously something you're going to grip and hold, and if it's got tiny little facets in from the knife cut, from your knife cuts, then I think it, you know, it's not only aesthetics, it's functionality as well. Looks wise now, if I start going down, you see those layers, if I start tilting this down I can bring out some layers. Oops, sorry. If I start going back at an angle, I can sort of bring these layers up to here and make it look a bit more attractive because I'm on a single layer there. That's why it looks the way it does. I'll show you what I mean. So obviously shape wise I'm just making it up as I go along. Yeah, starting to bring out a little bit of the layers now. Strange wood this. Before I split it, I was thinking about making a spatula, but then I decided, no, why don't I make a stroke? That'd be much more better for you to watch. Then I would have split this wood differently, I think. In fact, I might have just done it, not split the wood, and made it out of, tried to make it out of the one whole bit, maybe even include the heartwood. Or maybe split it the other way for colour wise, because there you go. Still pretty though, isn't it? Ooh, we've got a crack. Often happens that. I don't know if that was in there before or whether or not releasing the tension, carving it, has brought it out. See how deep it runs. That's another thing about not having a specific shape you're going after, sort of suck it and see approach. You know, it's not devastating when you come across things like that. Just take them out. In fact, a little crack like that wouldn't do any harm to the stroke anyway, really, as practicality wise. You know, it's nice to have something that looks perfect, but it's not entirely necessary. You know, it's not the end of the world if a crack did run through too deep for you to be able to take out. It's a stroke at the end of the day. Yeah, so we see we're starting to get, that's fine for holding. You know, you can sit back here a bit, it's far enough out, it's plenty long enough stroke for a knife like this, easily enough. Right, just thought we'd clean up our edges a little bit. It's better if you use a bit of sandpaper, or I'm going to use Abernet on a stick. This is 80. I've got a bit of 600 to finish it up with. Maybe a bit of sandpaper as well. What's this? 400. So I always do a lot of my sandpaper on a stick. It makes it easier. We'll get a little bit of overrun onto our work here, which we'll clean up with the knife before we finish. But it always gets it nice and straight, it makes it look neater. We need to take off this because this is the sort of wax that's on the stroke, on the syrup, sorry. Do a bit of 600 just to finish it off. Like this Abernet, it lasts a long time because a lot of the time you throw sandpaper away, it just gets clogged up. Certain sandpaper will leave marks on your work if you're not careful. Right, so we're just going to do that quickly then. There you see, just makes it a little better. I'll do a bit more off camera. I'll just clean up these edges. I haven't got enough battery to do. Well, we'll go till the battery runs out. Yeah, so there you can see we're just cleaning up what the overrun we got from the sandpaper. I've got to admit, I've really enjoyed using this knife. It's got such finesse. Zoom in now to cut leather like this. I'll reshape it a bit because I don't like the shape. Got to have a sharp knife to be able to do leather like that. Okay, so we finished doing our strobe. I just cleaned it up, carried on with the Delica. Just finished up, cleaned up the edges. I'm just ready to put some stroping paste on now, and maybe use it. You see, nice, just knife finished, no sandpaper. I haven't gone too fussy. That's the sort of finish. Yeah, no. Anyway, so I thought I'd just show you how to get it into the right condition, what you're looking for before you use it. My few spots on like that, back of a spoon. You might have to put several layers on. Yeah, there we go, it's coming into, that's it. That's it, you start to feel it grab the back of the spoon. I think we're nearly there. I'll just put a tiny bit more on. And then we'll hopefully give it a test out. See if this paste has gone on enough to sharpen. Yeah, that feels okay. So I'll just go on the side. Actually, I might go on the side of the knife a second, just to it's not quite there. There we go. Right, some ramping up now, getting steeper. Still feels a bit it's like it's got particles in it. I can feel it. It hasn't quite smoothed out into the paste that it needs to, but we'll use it anyway. See if we can improve our edge. very gently dragging it across, steepening up each time, just going very gently, and I'm just using this part of the stroke. Yeah, see, it's not right. You'll get there though. Yeah, see, that's better. Now we'll try and take another chunk out of it. Wrong angle, try again. I still don't think it's quite there. It's better. Yeah, see, that's good. It will do it. It's not quite there. It could do a little bit better. So what I will do, I'll grab this stroke. This is, yeah, it's got like I can feel it. It's you see the difference. Ooh, sorry. Actually, yeah, we'll keep it on. So let me show you what it needs to be like. Focus, camera. Focus. There we go. You see, so this is our new strobe. You can see how pale it is. It's just starting to build up a bit of that shiny stuff, whereas this is much shinier. This still hasn't. It feels. What description would it be? Well, look, stuff comes off my finger. See, I can feel it feels a bit powdery, whereas this. Does this? Yeah, it still comes off. It's different. This feels powdery, and that feels smoother and more paste-like. So eventually this stroke will come in, but we'll just use this stroke. So we'll just see how much better we can get this knife like this. Yeah, I can feel it's holding better. It's just takes a little bit of time for the stroke to come in. It's holding the knife. It's cutting much better. Right, so ramp up. Now I'm on the edge. Steeper again. Just gently dragging the edge across, edge polishing even. Really lightly as you do it. It's okay when you're on the side of the bevel like this, I can press harder, but when I'm on the edge, generally the steeper you go, the lighter you have to be. So now I'm starting to get on the edge a little bit steeper, and then I'm dragging it across very gently. Let's have a look at that. Might be a bit of paste on there as well. So there's our first cut, nice and easy. Yeah, see, the whole knife there. Didn't have to go back and start again. Do a couple more cuts so you can see. Sort of hold the paper quite near where you're going to cut and go across at an angle. You have to tilt the paper a bit so it'll grab the corner. There we go, once we're in. I can just. And if I want to test the tip, just go back, start further back. So I can tell that's good. So you do things like that with a knife on a Rizzler paper, then you know it's there. Gonna focus. There. So there we have it. Good old Delica. So really that it's done a nice little job there. Start to soak in now. Could do with another layer of the tung oil, but you know, nice little stroke. Doesn't have to be. There's no design to it as such. Grab it safe. I can hold it back here away from the stroke. There we are, a nice simple thing to do. It's nice not to have to sandpaper gets everywhere. Really, all the dust gets everywhere. It makes all your hands dirty. It's just so nice to knife finish something. Just see the results of what the knife can do, rather than, you know, your knife and sandpaper. So anyway, simple little stroke. Hope you enjoyed. Cheers now.